Welcome! Today, we're going to talk about a tiny, tiny detail on websites that you've probably seen a million times but never really thought about. It's called focus visible, and when it goes missing, it can make a website completely useless for a whole lot of people.
So, let's kick things off by exploring a really common and honestly super frustrating experience you might have had online. I want you to just imagine for a second your mouse dies. Or maybe you just prefer using keyboard shortcuts to get around, so you're trying to browse a website using only your keyboard.
You start hitting the Tab key, expecting to jump from a link to a button to the search bar, but visually, nothing is happening. You're completely lost. You have absolutely no idea which part of the page is active. It's like trying to navigate a dark room, and yeah, it's incredibly frustrating.
But luckily, there is a simple fix for this kind of digital invisibility. It's basically a spotlight, and it even has an official name.
And that's where the focus indicator comes in to save the day. Just think of it like a little spotlight that follows you around the page, lighting up exactly which button or link you're on at any given moment. So simple, right? But it is absolutely essential.
So what's the official definition from the Web Content Accessibility Guidelines? It's just pixels that are changed to visually show which component is active. You know, the key thing here is that it doesn't have to be fancy. It just has to be there. It has to be visible.
And this slide really just says it all. On one side, invisible focus. The user is totally lost. On the other side, a simple little border appears, and bam, the user knows exactly where they are. It's literally the difference between a dead end and a clear path forward. Okay, if you remember one number from all of this, make it this one: 2, 4, 7. This is the rule that helps make the web work for everyone. This rule, Success Criterion 2.4.7, makes it totally clear. A visible focus indicator isn't just some nice little feature, it's fundamental. The principle is as straightforward as it gets. If you can use it with a keyboard, you have to be able to see what you're using.
Okay, so who exactly are we talking about here? Who needs this digital spotlight? Well, the answer is probably a lot broader than you think, because this goes way beyond just a little convenience.
First and foremost, for anyone who relies on a keyboard to get around, this focus indicator is basically their map. It shows them their precise location, letting them move around with confidence instead of just guessing. But it doesn't stop there. For people who might have attention limitations, that little visual cue acts as a guide. On a busy, complicated web page, it helps them find and track their spot, so they don't get lost in all the noise. And the impact is even bigger than that. For users with, say, short-term memory limitations, that indicator is like a constant, friendly reminder of where they are. It just removes that mental load of having to remember your position, so you can actually focus on, well, the content.
All right, so we get what it is and why it's so important. So how do web developers actually get this right? Let's dive into some simple do's and don'ts.
The really good news is that making this work is often super simple. The easiest thing a developer can do? Do nothing. Just let the browser use its own default indicator. But if they want to get a little more custom, they can use CSS to change a background color, add a nice clear border, or even make a two-color indicator that really pops off the page.
And now for the single most important rule of all, the #1 don't. Whatever you do, never use code to hide the focus indicator. It's one of the most common mistakes out there, and doing it instantly slams the door on so many users.
So, let's wrap this up. What's the main takeaway here? Why does this one little technical thing matter so much in the grand scheme of things? Well, the official guidelines put it about as bluntly as possible. They say, without a focus indicator, sighted keyboard users cannot operate the page. I mean, just listen to that wording. It doesn't say it's hard or annoying. It says they cannot operate it. That's a digital brick wall.
And that really brings us to a final question for you. Next time you're on one of your favorite websites, give it a try. Put your mouse aside and just hit the Tab key a few times. Do you see that little spotlight guiding your way, or are you just left in the dark?